Hey everybody, it's Mark, DoctorDeadwax, and it's time for another beer commercial. This is Out of the Inbox 6, the Bobby Gas edition, and it's brought to you by Creemore Springs Kellerbier, my favorite beer in the summer by far. Kellerbier is open vat brewed, unfiltered, kind of cloudy, a little yeasty, just fantastic. So I got some PMs on YouTube, people contacting me on Facebook, sending me emails asking me, is everything okay and where have I been? I hurt my back a couple months ago, and it's summer here, and the back's a slow recovery, but it's summer here. I have an air conditioner at 10,000 BTU right above the turntable. It's like a foot above the turntable, so I'm never around much in the summer because I can't listen to records. It's just way too noisy in here. This air conditioner cools the whole floor of the house. So, but we had a cool night 2 nights ago, and the chiller cycled off, like the compressor cycled off on the air conditioner for the first time in 60 days. And I was like, I checked the temperature, it was like 14 out, and so I cleaned some records. I've been listening to records, and did the same last night, doing the same tonight. We've got a little bit of a cool spell here, so I got about 4 days and it's probably end of September before it'll do that again. So about 2 months ago, I hooked up with Bobby Gas. I had to drive my wife to a conference at a place near, just down the road from where he lives. So we hooked up. We had a beer. I gave him a couple records, and he gave me some records, and they're great records. And I didn't want to just show them when I got them. I wanted to listen to them, talk about them, because they're kind of special. And so, the back, then the air conditioner stuff, it really held me back. But a couple cool days here, I finally had a chance to get to them. So anyways, he gave me a little stack of records here, so let's go through them. This is Ebb Tide by Earl Grant, and it's an original pressing on Decca stereo. This is a good record. I've never heard this record before, but I mean, this is a nice, clean, original pressing. I think it's an original Canadian pressing. Original Canadian pressing. So that's good. I'd never actually heard that before. He gave me this because it has a Hamilton tie-in connection. The Chuck Mangione concert, Land of Make Believe, and I think he gave me this because it's with the Hamilton Philharmonic Orchestra. And this is Chuck here, and not a Chuck Mangione, whatever fan. This is actually pretty solid. Couple great songs on here, and surprisingly, there's the Gloria from the Mass of Saint Bernard, which I know from church, and I really enjoyed it. But there's some really cool, funky stuff on here. This is an original pressing on the Mercury rimmed Mercury. So again, this was good. Thank you very much, Bobby. Next, he gave me this, which is fantastic. Miles Davis, Quiet Nights, arranged and conducted by Gil Evans. This is a mono pressing, and pretty sure this was a Canadian mono 2i. I'm pretty sure this is an OG with a 2i on this, and this is a good record. It's it's arranged by Gil Evans. This is a safe Miles Davis record. It's not pushing the boundaries like Kind of Blue, which is a safe jazz record. This is even safer, more popular jazz, but still, this is a great record. I love it. I mean, it's just another great Miles Davis record to have in the collection, and I really appreciate it. Can never go wrong with Miles Davis. No matter if I find if Miles is trying to be far out or really, he has all these different phases, they're all good. He was just he was a master. The next one he gave me kind of floored me. I've never even seen this record. This is Thelonious Monk with John Coltrane, and this is on Jazzland. And this is an original pressing on the Orange Jazzland. Now this is a Canadian pressing, I think. Maybe not. Maybe this isn't original, but it's pretty damn close to original. Anyway, the Orange label's original. It might be Deep Groove is truly original, but I don't know. This seems pretty original. What a great record. Holy fuck. I can't believe you gave this to me, Bobby. This is great, great jazz. This is the kind of jazz I love. Kind of just that hard bop kind of period. I'm pretty sure this is original. It's got the fold over cover and the whole deal. What a great jazz record. And John Coltrane, I mean, in Canada, John Coltrane records, I find them almost impossible to find in any kind of condition, and this is a great condition. So those are, now I usually do 5 records, I'm going to do 6, but those are 4 records that Bobby gave me, and they're just phenomenal. Just great to get them. But then he gave me these, which, you know, I can't say enough about. I'll show you this. This is he showed these in a video. This is CBC Radio Canada. This is the title of the show was A La Carte, and this title of the episode was the Commonwealth Jazz Club. Now, as you can see, it says start inside up there. That means when you start this, you put the needle in the middle and it plays to the outside, which is kind of cool. And now, the Commonwealth Jazz Club. This was actually a TV series that was made in cooperation in 1965. It was made in cooperation with the UK and Australia. And Canada made 2 episodes, Australia made 2 episodes, and the UK made 2 episodes for a total of 6 episodes. And the Australian episodes had Graham Bell and his All-Stars in one, and the other episode had Don Burrell's Quartet with Judy Bailey. Now, Judy Bailey is somebody that Big Star 1000 has championed many times in his videos as one of the great Australian jazz acts. In the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth Big Band was one episode, and the other one was Kenny Baker on trumpet, Tony Coe, Jack Duggan, Spike Heatley, Dudley Moore would have been the name you'd know from that, on piano. So 1965, before he's a huge acting star, but you know, Dudley was always a musician. And then 2 episodes were made in Canada. And the first episode had, well, one episode had the Tony Collicott Trio and the Rob McConnell Quartet. And Rob McConnell, huge Canadian talent. But the other one had the Jimmy Dale Orchestra and the Sonny Greenwich Quartet. And that's what this is. So it's got the Jimmy Dale Orchestra. It's not an orchestra per se, but Ed Bickert was the guitar player on that. So half of this was like 2 songs from that, or 3 songs from Jimmy Dale and 2 songs from the Sonny Greenwich Quartet. So, I mean, that's what's on this, which is just fantastic. Now, what these are people call them acetates, but they're actually lacquers. They're they're technically what's called because they're made for radio, they're called a transcription disc. And the reason why you'll see a second hole in here is this one goes on a spindle, and this one's a peg that comes through the record to stop it from slipping on the platter, because this is, it's actually cut onto this record. This is a one-off cut. So, I mean, you know, this is about as rare as they come. And I'll show you on the other one because it's more obvious, but because there's two. So, and musically, this is great. So this is 1965, and Canada only aired 4 of the episodes on air in September of '65, 4 consecutive weeks. They were half an hour long. But they also cut the episodes to music from them to this and played it on the radio program a la carte. And here's the other one that I got from him. Oh, first let me show you this. So you can see here where there's a little bit of damage to the record. Let me see if this will focus. But maybe it won't focus because my huge nose is there. There you go. So you can see that this is actually made of metal. And then the metal is coated with lacquer. I mean, they call these an acetate because originally they were used with acetate on glass, but they're actually lacquer. And they're on metal. And again, this has a second hole. So anyway, let me show this. This one is just fucking phenomenal. This is, again, another episode of a la carte. But this one has... It's all Sonny Greenwich Quartet, and this was recorded in 1965 at the Cellar Club in downtown Toronto, which was a jazz club back then. And again, you can see where some of it's chipped away and the metal's underneath. And this is just, this is amazing jazz. Sonny Greenwich is one of the, considered by many to be one of the best jazz guitarists ever. Lots of people think he's grossly underrated. Lots of people, you know, put him up with Kenny I can't remember the name, but put him up with some of the greats. Some people say he's better than the greats. And great fucking jazz too. So just totally blown away when I played this. And again, this is one of these ones you can see here where outside is X'd out, so you started on the inside. So it's kind of cool. You put the needle in here and it plays towards the outside of the record. So I know Bobby showed these when he got them, and he was very happy and proud to have got them, and I am very touched and honored that you decided to give them to me, Bobby. They'll forever have a home with me, and they're great records. Cheers, Bobby. Thank you very much. So again, I can't get over what an amazing batch of VCLT this was from Bobby. Ebb Tide, Chuck Mangione, Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, John Coltrane, and 2 Sonny Greenwich CBC acetates, one of which, the Cellar Club recording, I wouldn't be surprised if the only iteration of this is this record, or maybe they cut half a dozen of these to go to the main broadcasting regions across Canada at the time. I don't know if CBC broadcasted from Toronto and repeated the whole way across the country at that time, or if, like, say, one would have gone to Montreal and down east and Toronto and somewhere in the prairies and somewhere on the west coast. So anyways, it's great to see everybody. I'm doing well. I'm on the mend. Bobby, again, I can't thank you enough for your friendship and your generosity. I always like coming into Toronto and grabbing a beer and some wings with you and just shooting the shit and having fun and talking about books and life and people and fishing and, you know, just all the usual shit. So thank you again, my friend. Cheers. Have a great day, everybody. Keep the record spinning.